Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Friday. I can't believe it's Friday already. Welcome to my channel, RobFuz. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Do me a big favor too. Hit that like button and share out the stream to everyone. Don't forget to check out all my partner channels, all my power channels, all my good friends are listed down below. I updated the list. If you're not on there and you're my friend and you want to be on the list, you let me know. No big deal. Of course, we alternate. Last week was Frankie Friday. This week is Pub Talk number 20. I can't believe it. Adam, my man, what's going on? Adam's land in the house. What's up, brother?
20, the big 2.
We got Disney Dan in the house. What's up, my man? How's it going?
What up? I got upgraded to a power to a partner.
Oh, we'll get to that. And of course, Steve, my man, Steve's World. Welcome to the pub. This is third time, Steve?
Yeah, I think so. Second or third, it's once you get past one, it feels like something real. So that's nice.
Too funny. We'll go back to Adam here. Adam's Land. Let's do a little channel promotion. Guys, don't forget, check out these guys, my partners. Adam's Land is one of my partner channels and his daughter Ebony's little channel. Definitely check out his channel. Someone wants to post his link in the thing.
And check out Ebony's as well. She's on 180 subs now, so if we can get to 200
awesome.
This weekend, I'll be very happy. So
what are we drinking too, Adam, as we go through?
I'm drinking John Smith's bitter, which is what I normally drink, which is bitter. It's like an ale. It's like a proper beer, a thick beer in the UK. And then I got a whiskey as well. So
very nice. I like you always have that whiskey chaser, so it's awesome. Want to talk about Adam's Land?
Yeah. I don't know what else to say than what people already know. Counts climbing, which is nice. I got a bit of a boost last week. I put out a new vlog last week as well, something that me and Ebony went and did over Easter. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, go check it out. And there's more vlogs on the way, so stay tuned. Cheers.
That is awesome. And of course, Disney Dan, one of my new partner channels. Thank you so much. I told Dan, I got a little emotional. He did a great job doing the announcement. He was pretty awesome. And it was, I got emotional, Dan. I'm a softie, but the response in the chat, in your comments and everything was awesome. So just a really nice thing. Things about me and Mouse Talk. That was awesome. So thank you so much for agreeing to be my partner channel.
Well, I mean, awesome. it was about time. Like we moved from power to partner channels, and I think it was kind of like one of those things that we all saw coming, but we never hit the home run and went for it. So, but yeah, we now knocked it out of the park. We are now partner channels, and I'm drinking today because actually this is a big announcement. I'm actually moving tomorrow, not to Florida, unfortunately, because that would be amazing. But I am moving home to London, and I am drinking a blackcurrant apple juice health drink.
Yeah.
So yeah. And
good luck on your move, Dan. I know it's a little bittersweet, but it's cool.
Yes, good luck, dude. Moving stressful, so good luck.
Moving is stressful.
Okay.
And then just the channel is Disney Fiasco tomorrow, episode 51. And we are going to have two newbies on tomorrow. We're going to have Charlie from the Disney Nerd Herders, and we are going to have our good pal Patrick from Zippity Doodad. So
Patrick.
that will be tomorrow.
PJ, get me a beer. Sorry, had to say that. So. Very cool.
So yeah, so we're that's gonna be tomorrow, and Disney Food Friday dropped today.
Yeah, it was a great tip. Definitely. It is Friday, believe it or not. So
yeah, believe it or not, I couldn't even believe it.
I was going to get a bottle of bottled water for the stream just for you, Dan, but
I upgraded to squash. That's
nice. So is this episode 51 of Disney Fiasco? That's the anniversary. That's the anniversary.
Well, it was this time last year we started.
Okay,
but we missed a week, so
right, no big deal. It's cool. Speaking of new partner channels, Steve's Real welcome, man. Thank you for being my other new partner. So that's cool.
Oh, thank you
so much. Steve was coming too. Steve's awesome. We finally talked Steve into coming on Xbox with us, and we've created a monster twice. The live streaming now with the Xbox. So
the Xboxing's just natural. I've played Xbox since I knew what games were, so that was just a natural fit. So
It's cool. And I think you're up past 800 subscribers on YouTube now, right, Steve?
Earlier today, I was at 842, I think, something
That's
like
awesome.
that.
Definitely check
So
out Steve. He's got an awesome channel. All these guys have awesome channels. All the links are below there. So that's awesome.
yeah, it's growing. I'm having fun. So we started live streaming not too long ago, about a month and a half ago. So it's I'm addicted now. So it's
Yeah,
good.
about a month and a half ago, give or take a day. Now I'm at
Yeah, somewhere there.
840 subs. No big deal. So that's awesome, Steve.
It's
I
fun.
believe in all three of you guys. I believe in all my buddies and my partners and my power channels. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys again for deciding to be my partner channel. I appreciate it. So
Yeah.
anything else about Steve's World, Steve?
We go live on Mondays at 8 o'clock. We're on the live place if everybody wants to catch us on there. Also, my other partner channel, Mouse Talk, who is one of Dan's partner channels.
Yeah.
We have a sports night we do on Saturdays after Disney Fiasco at 8 o'clock. So catch us out there.
That's awesome. Very cool. And then I don't know if you guys tuned in. I pulled it up here just to see. PubTalk 19 going for the hangout record with these amazing YouTubers. I think the final count was 18 YouTubers, I think, including PJ and Ebony. And it was just amazing. 377 views. It was definitely by far the biggest PubTalk ever. So thank you guys so much. We'll never forget. PJ, get me a beer. Zippy Doodad kept asking his son PJ for a beer. It was so fun. And thank you guys for
He's
all
in the
tuning
chat right now.
PJ, what's going on, buddy? He's going live. Zippity Doodad's going live. Don't forget, Reserve
That
TV
was
One's
like-
going live.
That was like a party in the pub last week.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
so fun.
amazing. Yeah, it was something new. I didn't know how much we could say. It was my fault. I apologize to Bob and Ashley, and a couple people I invited. I didn't know what we can max out at, and we thought it was 20, but it was only 10. And I think we're gonna have new rules. We're gonna do it again. I hope May 20th, Monday, May 20th, before Steve's stream. And I think the regulars get to stay, and then if you're a newbie, I think you're gonna only be able to stay for a little bit. So we're working out the rules. And I just want to go. I want to beat 18 people, so 18 YouTubers. I think it'll be fun. So, but yeah, it was so much fun. It was a 3-hour stream. It was insane. So May 20th, I think we're going to start at 5. So, and you go live at 8, right, Steve? That's what. So yeah, so we'll go. If it went 3 hours last time, I don't know if we're going to go 3 hours next time. But it was just so much fun. Just an open bar. It's going to be so much fun. So it's me, nice. Adam, Dan. I'm reading them off. Chris, Jim, Derick, Steve, Gregory, Dave, Corey, Meg, Mike, Walt, Patrick, PJ, and Ebony. It was just so much fun. It was just so much. It was great. It was a lot of fun. And Corey was on his way. Corey Meets World was on his way to a cruise. So that was nice exclusive from his hotel room in Miami. So it was just a lot of fun. It was really cool. So if you guys missed it, go check it out, the replay. PubTalk 19, going for the hangout record. It was just so much fun. So Ice Dad's in the house. Oh, okay. Adam, who's in the house here? Who's in the chat there? Let's get to that.
Who is in the chat?
Hold on a sec. I didn't say. Hold on. I'm drinking Whitby Coors Light, but I like Coors Light. So go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
That's okay. And just a quick one. Just breaking news. Dan, is that cool? Breaking news.
Sure.
Yeah. So now that you guys have just announced new partner channels and talking about power channels and stuff, I'm taking Rob's place as Dan's power channel.
Yep.
So
very nice.
We literally just made this decision 2 seconds ago.
Through text.
Yeah. We're just talking about it. Yeah. So yeah. Pleased to announce Dan. Dan is my first ever power channel. So I'm going to take Rob's place.
I'm gonna cry. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
I
although sometimes he's wrong about the northern stuff, we do love each other.
Nice.
And all those other times.
No, whatever.
These guys are so funny.
Okay, so Disney Circus Girl, welcome. Brandy and Dave, welcome. LSU Mom, welcome. Ross Merrill, Ice Dad, as you just said. Brandy and Dave, Zippity Doodad. I'm just going to scroll up as quick as I can. Grace F, Steve's World, obviously is in the stream with us. I did that last week as well. I'm just reading everybody, don't worry. Disney Dan, is he here?
Hello?
Lisa Post.
Is More Sunshine Please in the chat too? I think
I will tell you when I get there.
Anyway.
Stacey Rogers, K. Atwood. I'm probably going to read people's twice at this rate. Jack, Sandy Claus, Logan, Juan Rodriguez. Let's have a look. Duke Family Chronicles, A Disney Life for me, and I think I've covered just about everybody. Oh, my Westies TV was in early as well. I don't know. If it's still there.
Lorena's just come in as well.
Captain Acheron as well. I'm just scrolling all the way up.
Oh, man.
You Got Your Life. So I think. Sorry, Games and More with Grim Elk. I think that's everybody. Apologies if I've missed anybody. So, but welcome.
Welcome, guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. No, I'm only kidding. We're gonna go play Xbox, so.
We're gonna go play some.
I got Steve addicted. I'm just kidding. So no, I love coming on PubTalk. We have so much fun, and I asked the guys. We're kind of doing it occasionally, and I said, you know what, me and Frankie we have a good thing going and everything, but I wanted to do some Frankie, some PubTalk, and it seems like Fridays at like 4:30 is my slot. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. No, Frankie is not here, so it's in the pub. I tried to get him the fake ID, but it just didn't work. So today's topic is the future of Disney movies. So I saw on Twitter, a couple different news outlets. I guess 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, that Disney announced all their future movies, pretty much 2019, the rest of the year, 2020, 2021. Couple in 2022 up until 2027. So, and you know what? I never really verified that this list was actually that accurate. But you know what? Today, D23 posted that list, and I'll tell you what, you don't get more accurate and more official than D23. So that's where I saw it today on D23. So, I said to the guys, let's talk about Disney movies. I don't know. What do you guys think? Have you guys seen the list? Zippity Doodad, thank you so much for mentioning the like button. I'm excited. Like we've talked on our other streams too about this year, all the exciting movies and all the different stuff. But obviously since the Fox acquisition and Pixar and all that stuff, it's a busy year. Who wants to take it first, guys? Who wants to start talking about some movies?
Okay, I'll go. Because I'll break the ice because people are being really awkward. But hey, I'm really excited because we've been hearing about this Fox deal for such a long time. So thinking about everything that comes with it is going to be really, really exciting. And so we can actually talk about other movies other than like Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney. There's other stuff that we could talk about, which I think will be really exciting. And yeah, should we just choose the first one, or how would you? Well, the first one is Tolkien, which is coming out on you've done this in American date wise, so it's the 10th of
May, which is today, actually.
Which is today. It's today. So
yes,
yeah, because we put the day first, then the month.
Right.
Because that's how you're meant to do it. No kidding. Tolkien comes out today, which is really exciting. If Meg was here, she would love to chime in because she's a big Lord of the Rings fan. But Steve, you're a big Lord of the Rings fan as well, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited.
We did that talk with Walt, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So Tolkien is essentially about Tolkien, who wrote Lord of the Rings, about his life. It's like a biopic, and it's going to be really interesting to how this whole massive franchise came together and look behind the scenes and just see what this creator kind of. I'm just really intrigued by this. I'm always been intrigued by like biopics, like The Theory of Everything, the Stephen Hawking movie. That was one of my favorite movies. So I'm always intrigued by these biopics. So I'm really quite excited by Tolkien, which comes out today.
Yeah, I always pictured Tolkien as a Tolkien. I don't know how you say it, but I always pictured him as like a wizard looking kind of guy with a beard and everything. I have no clue why.
You're a wizard, Tolkien.
I don't know. Obviously, that's not. I don't know. It's not the author, but I looked at it. It looks nothing like a wizard. So it's too funny. So I didn't know much about it. Steve, you know anything about this movie?
Yeah, it's based kind of around his life, where he grows up. He was an orphan and all that, but it also deals with his experiences through World War I. I think it's World War One, which inspired him to write The Fellowship of the Ring. So it looks really good, and I don't remember. I think the guy's name is Nick Holt or something like that plays it. It's got a lot of people that I don't know.
He's the guy who plays Beast in the X-Men films.
Oh, okay. I know him that way, but they have a lot of not really high names that I know about. But but it looks good. I've seen the previews for it. It looks really good.
Sweet. Yeah, I like biopics too. So I wonder if it's kind of maybe like along the lines of I'm just trying to think that what's the Disney one with the Snow White, like kind of like that kind of.
The Huntsman.
No, like the biopic about Disney making the Snow White movie. What is that?
You mean
I
the
forget.
Mary Poppins movie, Saving Mr. Banks?
That's it. See, I didn't see the movie.
Yeah.
It's Save Mr. Banks.
You didn't see the movie?
It's on your list
Whoa.
too, and I was watching your
Oh.
movies, and I got to watch it. So
It's a fantastic film. You got to
Holy
see.
I got to
Okay.
see it. So I wonder if it's along the lines like that. But
That's two strikes today, Rob. How you've annoyed me. Firstly, because you used a snack credit to buy bottled water, and now you haven't seen Saving Mr. Banks. You're nearly on strike 3, buddy.
I told Dan, I said the obvious thing that I would really piss you off about bottled water in your stream was someone who used a snack credit towards it. So we had like 20 snack credits. I think we bought a water up with it. So I knew Dan was going to get mad. So I just did it to piss off Dan to say that. So.
I don't think this is going to be like Saving Mr. Banks, because Saving Mr. Banks, while it does kind of follow, sort of Disney trying to get that movie made, it's also the story about the kind of the tussle of getting it made. It's also, so it's not so much biopic-esque. It's also about what's her name, Travers,
P.L. Travers,
P.L. Travers, so and her kind of sort of struggles and the boundaries she put at what we're making the film, whereas this one I think is more biopic and more based around Tolkien, who obviously went on to great things. So I'm very intrigued to see this one. The trailers look really, really good for it. I've seen the trailers a few times when I've been to the cinema recently, and it is on my list to go and see. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie.
Cool. And the next movie on the list, May 24th, Aladdin's coming up. I can't believe it. It's like 14 more days away. It's crazy. This year's flying by. I don't know. What do you guys think of Aladdin? There's been a lot of different trailers since that first trailer. So what do you guys think?
I was on board with it
Uh-oh.
up until they released a clip of the scene leading up to A Whole New World where Aladdin jumps off the balcony. And let me just say, right, if I saw somebody jump off a balcony, I wouldn't be like, I'd be like, holy, like he just jumped off she had no expression. I was just like if I saw someone jump off a balcony, I would be losing my mind.
Uh-oh.
So I just didn't get it from the trailers. Like already, I'm going to be ranting about these movies, and I hate to do it because I love Aladdin. I love, the animated movie, and the only thing that's actually impressed me, ironically, is Will Smith, and that's it.
And yeah, Will Smith. I remember when we were talking early when this was being made, and we were both kind of dubious about Will Smith filling this role because it's big shoes to fill from the genie that we all know and love, which was obviously the genie voiced by Robin Williams. So I mean I for one was really skeptical about this film when I found out that Will Smith was going to be in this movie, because I was worried that Will Smith would kind of make it about him, make the role about him, and I think a lot of Disney fans who love the original animated film are going to be clamoring for this kind of, this genie that we all loved, and you wouldn't want Will Smith to make it about him. But I'll be honest, the more trailers I've seen, the more I've wanted to Will Smith play in his character. So, but yeah, I see what you mean, Dan. It would be, you would react a lot more if somebody stepped off a balcony, with, oh my God, or holy, insert expletive here, and and you'd be losing your mind, rather than just a kind of little, so yeah. But I'm looking forward to this movie. A lot. It's obviously the next big sort of Disney live action remake, from which is obviously what they're doing on the whole schedule of a lot of their animated films. I love what they did with Dumbo. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Aladdin.
Cool. Just to interrupt, I have had 4 burps sponsored by DG Explorers, my burp sponsor. Thank you guys so much for being a sponsor of this channel. I had to inject. So Ross, if you're counting, or anyone, if Noah's here, 4 burps. So. Sorry. Yeah, I'm excited. What do you think of Aladdin, Steve? What are you thinking?
I'm real excited about Aladdin. I'm kind of the opposite a little bit. I did not. I like the adaptation of a Dumbo movie as an adult movie by itself, standalone. It has nothing to do with the original, except that there's a flying elephant named Dumbo. This one seems to be more along the lines of Beauty and the Beast, where it follows the storyline, and a lot of the same songs are there, and a lot of the same storyline is going to be there. I'm looking really forward to it. And the scene with the balcony, I know what Dan's talking about, but at the same time, in the animated movie, she didn't have much of a reaction there either. It was, I think she just said Prince Ali, and then that was it. So there wasn't a whole lot of a reaction there as well. So I guess that doesn't bother me as much, but the more I see the vibrant colors, the more I see how awesome the scenery is, and the animals Raja on those. I want to see it even more and more. And I did see a hint of Bollywood dancing in it, which I actually really like watching dancing, and the Bollywood dancing in it looked really cool. So I'm really excited to see it. I think it's going to be very well adapted, keeping a lot of the familiar stuff with adding new songs and new elements to the storyline that are going to make everybody happy. I think it's going to follow Beauty and the Beast, that kind of style, which I absolutely love. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay. Yeah, looks cool to me. I don't know. I'm excited. I was more excited for this one than I was for Dumbo. But I know you guys saw Dumbo.
Yeah, I agree that I would agree with that.
Week, I think. So yeah,
I really enjoyed what they did with Dumbo because
it was good
because they went on a slightly different tack. So with Dumbo, I mean, obviously the original Dumbo movie is just over an hour anyway. And they kind of condensed that down into the first 20 or 30 minutes.
This is more of an adaptation, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, it was very much an adaptation because a lot of key things that you see in the main Dumbo movie are kind of put in the first sort of 20 or 30 minutes of this film, and then it's an entirely different story after that. So I liked what they did with it to incorporate. Yeah, I mean, they had to incorporate sort of the human interaction, which you don't really get in the animated film, with the exception of the circus master. So it's the only and the clowns. But they did a great job with Dumbo. But I know this one's going to be a bit more sticking to the animated story that we already know. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this, because I enjoyed for films that stuck to the animated story. I liked Beauty and the Beast. That was very, very well done. So I'm looking forward to seeing this as well.
All right. June 7th, Dark Phoenix, Fox.
Yeah. Can this X-Men franchise just end already?
Oh,
like honestly, like, can I look? I'm going to make my speech before, because I know Steve, you're already excited about this one. But the reason why I'm not excited for X-Men Dark Phoenix, don't get me wrong, I love the X-Men movies. There are some that are better than others. But they've pretty much given you the whole movie in the trailer. Like, we know she's going to be in Dark Phoenix. We pretty much know who's going to die, because at the funeral scene, we know who's not there. Like, we know, like, so much of the story just in the trailer. It just reminds me of Batman v Superman or Justice League. All these movies that have everything in the trailer. And I'm just done with it. Like, it just doesn't look like no. Like, the last good X-Men movie was Days of Future Past. Like, Apocalypse was, it was okay. There was kind of like a Power Ranger villain. It looked like a Power Ranger villain. This one just...
Are you talking about X-Men titles there, though, or do you include Logan in that? Because I thought Logan...
Logan was brilliant, but I think that's more of a standalone, though. Standalone. I'm talking about this storyline that we're in.
Yeah. With
this Cyclops, this Jean Grey, this Nightcrawler. I'm just not excited. It's just, look, they've pretty much given you the whole movie in the trailer, and that really put me off it. So, sorry. I know, Steve, you're gonna hate me now.
No, I don't hate it at all. I just, I personally, other than Sir Ian McKellen as Magneto and Patrick Stewart, I love this younger cast better. I think they're much better. I like the stories developed more. The technology today is much better. They can do more with the movies. I've really enjoyed watching these, and I agree with you. Days of Future Past was a phenomenal movie, and that was probably the last great X-Men movie.
Yeah.
But I remember watching them when I was a lot younger and watching how they tried to do them, and I just could not get into them. I love how I consider this movie kind of like the Logan movie. I think it's trying to be a standalone movie, but follow the same script as everything else. And I don't know. Of course, it has Sophie Turner in it, who is Sansa, which I love Game of Thrones too. So I'm really think she does a good job with that character. It's got Jennifer Lawrence in it as Mystique. I think it's going to be a very well adapted movie to kind of play along the storyline. My fear, I do agree with you though. My fear is that we know most of the movie from the trailer.
Yep.
But I'm hoping that's not true. So that'll kind of play to it, or we'll have to wait to see if that kind of plays true. But I'm excited for this one. I love the graphics. I thought it was very well done. And like I said, I love the actors most of all. And I think that's why I'm going to give it a little bit better chance.
Good. I've only seen the first X-Men movie. I really haven't gone past that, so I'm the wrong person to ask.
They're good. Some of them are terrible, but they're most of them are.
Yeah, I'm looking at it like it's really going to be the main super, comic book movie of the summer. Really, obviously, Endgame will continue. Who knows how long that's going to go? But is there any other? There's no DC stuff coming up, right? There's no action movies, heroes, right? Like
I
super.
Can't think of any. Because normally the big, Marvel movie comes out at the beginning of the summer, which was Endgame. So
yeah, so I mean, Spider-Man.
Well, I know it's Spider-Man: Homecoming. Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Far From Home is out in June, and that's not on this list.
Because like I said, was telling Adam, it's a Columbia Sony movie, and it's a Marvel movie. So I guess it's not really Disney.
Well, it is. I consider
based on the acquisition now, yes, I understand what you mean. Though I mean, there's certain movies in this list, like Tolkien, the first one that we mentioned, was probably made before Disney acquired Fox. I wouldn't class it as a Disney movie, but I mean, obviously, if you look by the letter of the law and the intellectual properties now, I guess now that Disney have acquired Fox, they will class it as their own. So. Or as one of their releases. So yeah, I mean, I would have thought Spider-Man, being under the Marvel umbrella, which Disney has the rights to, would kind of fall under this. I'm surprised it's not on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on. So, this is a movie I've been waiting for a long time. I told my kid, I would guess 6 years ago at this point, that Toy Story 4 was Green Flag. It's finally coming out June 21st. They've been onslaught of trailers and movies and all that stuff. We're only, we're only in July now, or you're really in June now. So, what do you guys think? Toy Story 4. What are you thinking?
Very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely.
I love the Toy Story franchise, and as a franchise, it's certainly Disney Pixar's most successful one by a long shot. So, Toy Story 3 is such a beautifully done emotional film for people that kind of grew up with those films, from dating back to when the first one came out and stuff, because it was kind of like the end of the chapter with Andy, and it was very emotional at the end, but it was one of those. I remember when the film drew to a close, I was like, that can't be it, it was quite sad. It pulled on the heartstrings. And I'm glad that's not it for, we get to see these characters again that a lot of us have grown up with and loved. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing this. Yeah.
For me, though I'm very excited about this movie, there are only a few trilogies that are perfect. One of which is Toy Story. Lord of the Rings, I think, is perfect. If the Return of the Jedi was just a tiny bit better, I would have put Star Wars in there, but there's only a few trilogies that are perfect, and I really don't want this to mess everything up. Because let's be honest, Pixar sequels are either hits or misses. You got Cars 2 and 3. You got, Finding Dory, I think, is nowhere near as good as Finding Nemo, but you got Incredibles 2, which was really good. You got the Toy Stories, which are very good. You have Monsters University, which I think is a very underrated sequel to Monsters Inc. So I'm just praying that this movie, like out of any movie this whole year, I am praying for this one to be good.
Yes, I agree. I don't want this to taint the franchise whatsoever. Like I agree. The three movies as they are at the moment are perfect, but I don't think they would put it out if there was. Well, I don't know. Yeah. I'd like to think they wouldn't be blinded by this release, and
it's been delayed a few times. That's what I was saying. It was so long ago.
Yeah.
So I think hopefully they got it right. So
yeah, exactly. You would think that they would maybe looking at it and going, "No, the fans are not going to like this." This is, and especially as as we're looking on the list, this is the first animated film in this list that we have. So
True.
which is what Disney has always honed their craft on is animation. I know obviously a lot of it's Pixar now, rather than sketch, but it's still, this is going to be such a marquee release for this year. So,
I guess that's their formula now. These CG driven movies, remakes, and they seem to kind of these original movies, maybe 2 or 3 tops a year. I guess that's always been the way it's been. But
yeah,
Steve.
And I don't have a problem with that, but I do have. They can make 10 Toy Stories, and I watch every one of them, and to some degree, love every single one of them. But I am really nervous about this. Like Dan said, Toy Story 3 was about as perfect an ending in the Disney universe as anything has ever been, and I'm not thrilled by the trailers that it's going to be better than 3. I'm just not. I really don't. I don't like the way Bo Peep has changed. I don't like.
What's the reason on that? Why did they change Bo Peep?
I honestly don't know. But I just don't like the way a lot of it looks. I'm guessing it's because she had, she's been away for a while. She got at the carnival, it appears, and maybe she's adapted to that kind of atmosphere. I don't think the duck and the bunny seem to be kid friendly necessarily. I'm sure obviously they have to make it, appropriate for families, but I think they push the boundaries a little bit.
Mannequins
look and creepy. Yeah, there are very creepy parts of it too. I don't think you can match Toy Story 3. This would be a fantastic movie as a standalone, I think, but I'm really worried it's going to tarnish the reputation of Toy Story. But it's still going to be good, but you can't downgrade from Toy Story 3, and I think that's what it's going to do.
Right.
I think sometimes we do forget that Toy Story did always have that little edgy element. Like in the first film, there was Sid's toys, which were really creepy. You have you have big guy in Toy Story 2 who was dressed up as a chicken. And then Toy Story 3, Lotso the bear,
Lotso and Big Baby,
Big Baby. That's also creepy. So I'm not so much worried about the creepiness because I knew they've always been a little bit edgy, but I do get where you're coming from, Steve. I just don't want it to, tarnish tarnish it all.
Yeah.
We got a super chat from PJ, my youngest super chatter yet. Cheers to Steve for joining the dream team with 3 shouts, icons there, or emojis. PJ, thank you, PJ. PJ streaming, I think it's 7:30 on Sippity Dad's channel. So definitely, Patrick, put your link there. We got to support you guys and come see your stream.
Cheers, PJ. Cheers,
PJ. I'm gonna buy a beer with that super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. That was awesome. Back to Toy Story. I'm a little nervous too. It's Steve. You brought up a great point. I remember blown away by that first Toy Story movie. And I love that's Toy Story 1 is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies. And you know what? And I would say this about a lot of Pixar movies. They really never showed you much in the trailers. Like no storyline. Here's the characters. They would do and they did that with this one, the first trailer where they're in the big circle and they're playing the music. But I'll tell you what, they've shown a lot of this movie. And me and my son were watching YouTube, and someone had put all the trailers on there, and I felt like I saw a lot of the movie, and that kind of scares me. I kind of agree with you guys. But look, like Steve said, I think I've said it too. I'll put on Toy Story 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'll go see them all. I love them. So
yeah,
I don't know. So next online here is July 12th, Stuber. Is that how you say it? I don't really know much about it. I looked it up. It's about a mild-mannered Uber driver named Stu. Picks up Vic, a grisly detective. I don't know. It seems like one of those Fox movies. Anyone know anything about this?
Well, this one's either going to be really, really good or really, really bad, and it depends on whether or not Batista can bring the. I think his comedy has to be taken a special way, especially as Drax.
Yeah.
But if it's not, I don't see him being that funny, and I don't know if he can't bring that comedy element. This is going to be really bad.
Well, I know Dan loves Dave Bautista.
I love Dave Bautista, but in terms of his comedy, he's more. The reason why Drax is so good is because he's a supporting role. Mm-hmm. Like if you gave him the reins to a movie, he just. I just don't feel he'll get over as much as if he was playing a sidekick or a comedy relief character like Drax.
Yeah, but I don't think Batista's going to be the comedy relief character in this. Kumail Nanjiani, who plays Stu, the Uber driver, he will be the comedy relief. He's a very good comedic actor. So,
yeah, we'll see. I'm going to say something stupid. It is a comedy. I don't even know. I don't know anything about it.
A horror movie. Like Disney's first horror movie about Stu, the Uber driver.
Hot on the trail for sadistic, bloodthirsty terrorists, Stu finds himself thrust into a harrowing ordeal where he has to keep his wits, avoid danger, and work with a passenger while maintaining his high customer service rating. Okay, I guess it's a comedy.
It's listed as an action comedy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. I don't know much, but okay. So the next one, the big boy. If anyone's I think it's safe to say Endgame is going to be the biggest box office movie of all time for a long time. But you know what? If anyone could come along and knock off Endgame off its pedestal, it's The Lion King on July 19th of July. I'm going to do it like my Brits. So what do you guys think? What are you thinking? There's not much more about Lion King. It seems like they keep showing that same trailer, just rehashed.
I don't think they need to.
They definitely don't need to. With that trailer and that trailer alone, if I'm looking forward to Aladdin on a scale of out of 10, I'd probably give it a 6. Whereas Lion King, I'm going to go for a 11 out of 10.
I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it opening day. Yeah. Apart from Peter Pan, Lion King is my favorite Disney movie ever. I love this movie. This is, in terms of perfect movies, Lion King is probably the perfect animated movie of all time. There is nothing bad about this movie.
Lion King for me is, I went to see it at the cinema, and it's certainly, of all my Disney films, my favorite Disney soundtrack as well. I think it's consistently solid throughout. I am so much looking forward to this movie.
Me too.
And I think, like Beauty and the Beast was so good in how true they kept it to the animated, with the exception of that one additional scene in the middle where they took Belle back to where her mum had died earlier on. But I see this is going to go along the same track. I think it's going to be so close to the original animated version. It's going to be I think it's going to blow people's minds. Mike, our theme, Life in the House, welcome.
Hey Mike.
What up, Mike?
And Noah as well, and Mouse Talk.
Hey everyone.
Well, John Favreau is directing, and he did The Jungle Book, which was amazing. I love the Jungle Book live action movie.
Yes.
Yeah, the Jungle Book live action movie is what really put me in the mood for all these live action movies. And like you said, he's an incredible director. I think he's an incredible actor. He obviously plays Happy in Iron Man, but he does such a great job. And like you said, we don't need to see any more of any trailers, and I don't want to see any more trailers because I don't want them to give a lot of it away. But I am perfectly fine when you take one, like you guys said, the greatest animated movie, and you keep it the same as a live action movie. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And the way that animals look and move, and a lot of people are upset the way Scar looks. I agree with Meg. That's how a real lion looks. It doesn't look like Scar from the animated version. No. That's the way a real lion looks. So I'm not disappointed in that at all. I think it's going to be, if it wasn't for Endgame, I think it would be the biggest film of the year. And I think it's going to still be great. And the cast of characters, they got obviously Beyonce to sing and everything, but bringing back James Earl Jones as Mufasa was brilliant.
Brilliant.
So, they've done everything right. The only thing I wish they would have done was bring back Jeremy Irons. Is that his name, Jeremy Irons?
Yeah, Jeremy Irons.
As Scar. If they could have done that, it would have been absolutely perfect. And I think it's still going to be as close to perfect as you could possibly be.
They got my boy Seth Rogen in it, so I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I love Seth Rogen.
Pumbaa, they look just in that one little scene where we seen them singing "The Lion Sleeps Tonight." Just the interaction with those two just makes it. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a great movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Very
Can't
much.
wait. It's going to be awesome. Definitely going to see it. I think we're going to fly through some of these. If you guys want to talk about some of them, if you know about them. Let's discuss. So, anything else to talk about Lion King before we move on? I'm excited.
What more can we say?
It's what I'm most looking forward to this year.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Well,
Endgame.
there may be another.
Well,
No, there's another movie coming out in December.
I don't see it topping Endgame, but I think it will still be huge.
I am talking about live action remakes. I'm not talking about Star Wars or Endgame.
Okay.
So, my most anticipated live action remake.
I was going to say, there is a film coming out in December, which I'm more excited about.
Yes.
Well, Lion King can't even be a live action remake. It's all CG, so.
I consider CG live action.
Okay. It's fine. All right, so we got on the 9th of August, The Art of Racing in the Rain. Anyone have anything to say about that?
That actually doesn't look terrible. It's got Kevin Costner and Amanda Seyfried in it, and it's about it looks like it's about from the perspective of a dog that belongs to a racer, and it appears to be from the dog's perspective, learning his life through this race car driver. But I mean, it's got Kevin Costner in it, and I think he's a pretty decent actor. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, the only thing I'm looking at, I think Universal picked it up and another studio picked it up, and then Fox wound up with it. So I don't know. I don't know why a lot of people passed on it, but it looks kind of cool. I'm looking at it was based on a book. A lot of these are just based on books. So this is by Fox too. Anyone else? Just jump in if you have anything else to talk about. So 23rd of August, Ready or Not, another Fox Searchlight movie. I don't know what that's about. The 20th of September, Ad Astra by Fox.
Yeah.
The 4th of October, go ahead, Steve.
That one may be a good one too. It looks like a space movie, but it's got Tommy Lee Jones and Brad Pitt in it.
Okay.
And Donald Sutherland. So when you got that kind of cast in it, I don't know anything else about the movie. I just know it looked like it had something to do with an astronaut. So I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds cool. I love a lot of those movies that just come out of left field and it's different, and like that just sounds like a cool formula. So.
Oh, it actually, I did pull it up here. It says he travels to the outer edges of the solar system to find his missing father and unravel a mystery that threatens the survival of our planet. So it's got potential.
Yeah, it does look like a space movie. Lexi's wearing a space thing. All right. And then the 4th of October, The Woman in the Window.
Which sounds almost like a
The Woman in Black.
A rip-off of Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock.
All Women in Black.
Well, no, it's an agoraphobic woman living alone in New York begins spying on her new neighbors only to witness a disturbing act of violence.
Wow.
That screams Rear Window, Alfred Hitchcock to me.
Yeah,
so,
Gary Oldman, Julianne Moore, Amy Adams, good cast. So
good cast, but yeah, it just, I mean, I'd be interested. I don't know much more of the plot. I'm just reading the tagline on IMDb, but that's basically what it is. Like, so it's an agoraphobic woman living alone in New York begins spying on her new neighbors only to witness a disturbing act of violence, which basically says Rear Window with the cast. So yeah, we'll see what is done with this movie.
And this movie, the next movie, kind of surprised me. 18th of October, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, just kind of came out of nowhere. I know.
Very much looking forward to that one because
really,
where Steve said Jungle Book was the one that switched him on to these live action movies. Mine was the first Maleficent. I thought it was very, very good.
I thought Maleficent was great.
I loved the. It was it wasn't one that followed the story like Lion King is going to be. It was a retelling, obviously, from Maleficent's point of view. I really, really enjoyed Maleficent. I thought it was fantastic. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they do with this one as well.
I agree, but for me, like, do we really need a sequel to that?
I don't think we need one, but
I would have
think-
rather had, like, maybe look at a different villain, like, hey, let's look at Ursula, or let's look at Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, I just didn't feel I would have rather seen a different villain than Angelina Jolie as Maleficent again. That's just my opinion.
I get what you mean, and I hope they don't ruin the first film with the second one, like we were talking about Toy Story 4, potentially ruining the franchise. I hope they don't ruin this one. The dangerous thing with this is a new story. Obviously, Maleficent, even though it's told from a different perspective, it's still the same story, which was the beauty of it and the charm of it. It was a story we all knew, but it just had a completely different take on it, and that's why we enjoyed it. But because I've enjoyed the first film so much, I'm just looking forward to seeing what they do with this one. So, it's got the potential to be slightly darker than the first movie, which is what I think I expected from the original film anyway. I thought, a film about Maleficent is going to be quite dark. And it wasn't. It was still told in a very family-friendly, beautiful way, I guess. But, I'm very much intrigued by this one, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that and I love the villains. The villains are my favorite part of Disney, but to see the misunderstood, I love the concept of how villains mostly could be misunderstood, and I thought that played beautifully into it. But, even at the end of Maleficent, though, it didn't really portray her completely turning bad. I mean, there was still the relationship between her and Aurora, which is where this one's going to pick up. It's going to pick up with that relationship and how they have to band together. It's going to continue their struggle relationship. And I think this one could hold the potential to push Maleficent over the edge to become the evil villain that she is, as opposed to where we left it at the last one. Because when they left it the last one, she was still, it was a complex relationship, but it wasn't full onset evil villain yet. So this one could close that door.
Yes, very much so.
I'm excited. I want to see it. So I don't know if I'd see it in the theater, but I definitely want to see it. So, of course, and then so we got Ford versus Ferrari on 50.
Here we go.
This is all Dan. I'm going to give it a Dan.
This is all me. Now, I'm so glad, firstly, Steve's here, and I hope that Walt is still here from Mouse Talk, because a couple of weeks ago, they did their top 10 sports movies, and I said Rush by Ron Howard is the best sports movie of all time. And now I get to prove it, because I believe another motor racing movie is going to be the best movie of all time. This is about Ford versus Ferrari, two manufacturing giants. And it's about their rivalry at Le Mans, the 24-hour Le Mans race in 1966. And it's got Christian Bale in it. It's got Matt Damon in it.
Sounds great.
Come on. Like, this is going to be one amazing movie. It's going to have amazing just visuals, because motor racing is always about the visuals. It's 1966. It's retro. It's going to remind me a lot of Rush, and I'm so pumped for this movie. I can't wait.
And I like racing movies better than I like watching racing. So this will be good. I mean, how I just turn left, turn left. I mean, anyways, I know Indy or the Formula One's a lot different where you guys are from. We don't get to see that here. We just see NASCAR just keep turning left. Anyways, I do think it's going to be a fantastic movie. I agree with Dan, and we'll have to do a sports night right before it comes out, Dan, and bring you on to talk about it. It's going to be really good. I agree with you. It's got a great cast.
Cool.
Rob, just changing the subject just slightly. Stacey's asked a question. Can you ask Rob if the Marvel figures behind him are Happy Meal?
They are, yes. I showed them.
Yes.
I have 4 of them, so my son is jealous. Yeah.
Okay.
2 have 4.
And
So there we. Hold on a sec. There we are. That's all I got so far is 4.
That's cool.
They look cool. Yeah, they're not, when you see them in person, they're not
cool.
that impressive, but they're kind of cool.
I'm just saying, Nebula doesn't look very
not
feminine.
Look, this is their big power action arm.
yeah,
It looks like a
agree
blue.
with
It looks like
Nebula.
a blue Mr. T.
Yeah, pity the fool. I pity the fool who messes with me.
I pity the fool who deals with
Dan, you
Thanos.
can't even spell Disney right. You can't spell Disney right.
Oh man. Also, just a quick
I'll get
one.
back
Welcome
to
to the
McDonald's.
Shep family in the
Hey
house.
guys,
Bye-bye.
Shep family's back.
bye to Zippity Doodad, who had to dip out.
Zippity Doo Dad live at 7:30. Happy birthday, Patrick and BEJ.
Is he live at 7:30 or 8:15?
Bob and Ashley had just dropped out as well.
Bob and Ashley on a cruise. Thank you so much for stopping.
Meg's here as well.
Yeah.
Hey Meg, what's going on?
Yeah, so hey Meg,
good at school.
Expedition Theme Park is here as well, and AJC Magic.
I actually invited Meg earlier. She has an open invitation whenever she wants to come on PubTalk to come on. So I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to distract her this week, but with her schooling and stuff like that. But she's always welcome.
Has she finished her schooling now? If she has, she should have a massive beer or other beverages are available in her hand, and she should kick the pub doors open and say, "I'm done." So,
speaking of beverage, Steve, you didn't tell us what you were drinking. I took a shot of you drinking, swigging it.
She's only done for 2 weeks, and then she's got to go back. I think she said. But I'm staying with Dan today. I'm drinking some IBC root beer today. So
yeah,
nice.
I love root beer.
All right, moving on. We're going a little slow with this year, and then we'll kind of blow through the other stuff in the future. We'll discuss certain things. I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot of stuff into 2020, 2021. But
I mean, we've just done Ford versus Ferrari, and then there's 2 movies that we don't really need to talk about, I think.
Well, so seriously,
I'm joking.
the 22nd of November, Frozen 2. We've seen the trailer. I haven't heard one thing. I haven't seen one other thing but the trailer.
Frozen 2.
Sorry, very quickly, Jackie from Super Enthused is here.
Hey, Jackie.
Oh, hey, Jackie. Welcome.
We need to get Jackie in the pub, too. She was invited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jackie was invited to the mega one, but hopefully Jackie will join us on the 20th. So
Jackie has been threatening to join us for a while, but she's
been
busy,
killing it with Mr. Wu over there. And
Mr. Wu.
Go into the
we need to get Adam in here as well.
Well, Adam's always invited, of course, but I don't know if I could pull that off. So I don't know.
Adam is always here. No, I know the
Adam.
The other Disney.
The better Adam.
Man, I want to get Sam on here too. Sam, whenever you want to come on, you're always invited on my channel too, buddy. Sam just popped in from Expedition Theme Park. He's awesome. So. Jackie could do the 20th. All right, so 5 o'clock on the 20th. If you come late, I think we're going to be on for a while, so could pop on or anything like that. So so Frozen 2. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Like, I know zero about Frozen 2. Still, like,
I'm pumped,
excited about it, but
I'm really
there's a little snowman called Olaf.
But I don't know. Like that trailer, there hasn't been anything else released, right, Dan? As far as I know.
There was one trailer, which was, I think it's a very different tone compared to the first movie. It looks very different to what was the original Frozen, and I'm quite glad that they did that because Frozen. Let's be honest. I don't think we can argue that Frozen was a massive phenomenon, and I think people would have gone crazy if they had the same movie. So. Because people are still like saying, "Oh, let it go, it's still playing, everyone see it now." I'm like, no, it's actually quite a good song. But I think Disney are wise to change it up a little bit because let's be honest, they made so much money that they were going to do a Frozen 2, but they needed to change it as much as they could because they didn't want it to be the same. Because I'm really excited. The cast is great. The songs were fantastic in the first movie. There are going to be Frozen haters out there. We get that, but purely as a Disney animator fan, I'm super pumped.
Yeah, it looks great. They have new hairstyles. That's all I know too, but that's about it. So,
I think the trailer is just the right amount, and I don't want him to add anything else. It gives us just enough, like Dan said, to show us the new. I think it's going to have an element of darkness to it, which I think is pretty neat. It looks, a lot of people theorize that they're out looking for their parents, and when they get trapped on the island, I like the mystery of it all. You see Anna grab Kristoff's sword at the end there and swing it at something. I love all that mystery, and again, it's one of those movies I don't want to know a lot about because that trailer was just enough to get me hooked that I don't really need to know what the story's about. I want to be surprised when I go.
Ebony's been waiting for this film to come out since the first one came out. Now she was 5, I think, when she first watched the first film, and then I took her to Orlando for the first time, and she was singing the songs all the time. And she was so excited for this film, and now she's grown up into this child that's bordering teenagedom, and not quite. She's not obviously that old yet, but she is 9 going on 15, and I hope it comes out. Obviously, I know it's obviously out this year, but I hope she's still got that interest in it because she's been screaming for Frozen 2 for so long.
When was the first Frozen out? What year was it?
I can't remember.
2013.
It was either 13 or 14. She was 5. She turned 5 in 2014, and that was the year she saw it for the first time.
So it's 5. So it's around 5 years ago.
Yeah. So she was actually 4 probably when she first watched it. So yeah.
It does not feel like it's been 5 years. It feels like it was opened like 2 years ago.
No,
like it really does not feel like. It's a
great franchise for them.
It's crazy. It's crazy how time has flown and people are still singing Let It Go. There's still little girls who loved Elsa who've grown up a little and they're still loving the characters and that meet and greet in Norway is still always really busy and it's just it's crazy. It's crazy that it's been 5 years. And
I remember our flight back from Florida, and obviously when you fly into the UK, it's always an overnight flight. So obviously we took off around sort of early evening in Orlando. It kind of goes to nighttime. Everyone's trying to get some sleep because they know that they're going to land in the UK at around 6-7 a.m. And everyone was asleep on the plane except for Ebony, who was sat there singing as loud as she could the first time in forever from Frozen, just rocking backwards and forwards in a chair singing it. I was creased. I was laughing my head off, but like I don't think everyone else on the plane was very impressed.
It's worse when you're 19 and you're doing that on the plane and you're because that's what I was doing.
But no,
I'm like, do you want to build a snowman? And it's like nighttime on a plane. I'm like, Dan, you're 19 years old. Get a hold of yourself.
But yeah, no, she was singing that, and she loved the first film. She's very much looking forward to this one. So I can't wait to take her to see it in the cinema, and I just hope she's still as into it, because she'll be 10 by the time this comes out.
Yeah, I think she'll still be into it.
So, yeah.
Well,
so it will have been 6 years.
One of the important things I think for sequels is, in the past, Disney hasn't always done this, but when you have famous people playing characters and you do a sequel that doesn't have the same people and the same voices, you can get somebody that's close. It's just not the same. This one's another one of those now that has all the same characters, all the same people doing the voices and the singing. So I think it's just going to be another incredible movie, like it hit us the first time when we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Of course, this 20th of December, that little movie called Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. We have a name now. We just got the name a couple weeks ago. We have a trailer. I saw the trailer in the theaters on May the 4th be with you when I saw Endgame. I'm so stoked. I'm so excited. That's the movie of the year for me. I'm excited. So.
What's this one about? What's
to be honest, we don't actually know because Ryan Johnson completely messed up the trilogy. Look, I love the trailer. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, this trailer was so good. I think I'm one of the few people who actually loved The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, because I think either people love one or the other. But I loved both.
Yeah, I love both.
I love them both. And look, there are issues with both of them. I get that, but we're not going on all controversy now.
It's another stream, pal.
It's another stream, or Star Wars Sunday that we do every month. They can do that. Check out. That was a shameless plug right there.
Oh, I love
it. I think a lot of the issues with the first films was that people were still bemoaning, especially after the Last Jedi. People were still bemoaning that certain questions still hadn't been answered from The Force Awakens. This one has to answer those questions, so I'm very much looking forward to it.
Look, Star Wars fans are the hardest fans to please, I believe. Like, the prequels were nothing like Star Wars. Force Awakens, it's too much like Star Wars. And now The Last Jedi, it's nothing like Star. I'm just like, just make up your mind. Just enjoy the movie. There are issues. We get that. No movie is perfect apart from The Shawshank Redemption and Star Wars Episode 4 and 5. And Lion King.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Okay, yeah. another stream for another day. But look, I'm pumped. I'm so excited for this movie. We got J.J. Abrams back. I'm very excited to have J.J. back because he knows where this franchise is going. He started this sequel trilogy. It seems like everybody is together rather than Last Jedi, where everyone just went their separate ways. and we get more Chewie and Porgs. So what's more to, what more can you want?
What more can you want?
That's a whole nother stream, but obviously
we should do like top 10 perfect movies or top perfect movies as a pub talk.
Yes.
Perfect. Write that down, Steve. The new guy. Dan doesn't have pen and paper, so.
Oh no! Wait! I got paper and a pen.
Joke.
There you go.
Yeah, and we could talk all day about Star Wars, but I'm excited. I love it. So December 25th of December, Spies in the Skies, animated movie with Will Smith. It looks great.
Who is Will Smith? Karen Gillian, who plays Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy. Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man, and it's got the person who plays every villain in every movie nowadays, Ben Mendelsohn. Ben Mendelsohn, you'll remember he is the villain in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and also the villain in the new Robin Hood and the new villain in Ready Player One. He's like the villain of every single movie right now. I was
thinking that the other day. He was in some other movie, and I was like, man, he's a villain in this movie too.
He's a villain in everything. So he's the villain in Spies in Disguise, which is the new animated movie. So
that's coming out on Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
No one's going. No one's going to go.
Who in their right mind goes to the cinema?
Yeah, but there's a big box office Christmas week where kids are off and everything. So.
But when you got Star Wars coming out in that week,
yeah, it's rough.
You're not going to do very well. It's gonna be a bomb.
No.
It's not.
I don't even think the cinema's going to be open here on Christmas Day. I don't think it's be.
He was the villain in Captain Marvel. That's
Captain Marvel. That's it.
He's the villain again. I love Ready Player One. I've seen Ready Player One like 10 times. Awesome. So that's 2019 Disney movies. It's such a good lineup. They're competing against themselves. And then, like I said, I tweeted the list. If you guys want to see the article on D23, but the entire list, I'm going to go over this a little bit quick. Artemis Fowl did get moved over to May 29, 2020. No one mentioned it in the chat earlier. I'm bummed. I was dying to see that movie. It looks so good. Of course, the new Spider-Man movie is coming out this summer. That looks really good. It's a Marvel movie, which obviously is a Disney property. We mentioned too. I don't know. I'm excited. What do you guys think of Artemis Fowl? What do you think? I think
I have my opinion last. I'll have my opinion last.
Oh, I think it looks cool, but go ahead. I don't think anyone else has an opinion. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to it.
No. Okay.
No, I think it's going to bomb. I really, if you look back and look at these movies like the BFG that came out, if you look at
good point.
What's the A Wrinkle in Time. It's so much harder to publicize your movie if you're not a big franchise. If you look at the box office right now, what's in the box office right now? Star Wars, Marvel, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, all these are because people know these franchises. You're gonna look at Artemis Fowl and you'll be like, I'll go and see a Marvel movie, or I'll go because like it's harder to draw people in when you don't really know anything about the book. Or it looks good, but I just think it's gonna fail. I'm sad to say.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Dan. It's
that's a first.
It's. I agree with you sometimes.
I told him it was made in the opposite town of him. Maybe he would like.
I don't think it's going to stand out for people, unfortunately. Like, it looks okay, but it's not something that kind of jumps out and grabs you. I don't think so. Yeah.
It's coming out in the same month as a Marvel movie, so and it's in between a Pixar movie as well.
Yeah,
and I think it's going to be Disney trying to push something like they did with John Carter, where they're going to try to push a franchise on us that may or may not take off. And I think that they were banking on that being the next big thing, and it never, ever took off. And I think this could have the potential to do the same thing. Hopefully they do this better than that, but we'll see.
Yep. New Mutant is another movie they pushed back. They've pushed that movie back 3 or 4 times. So
yeah.
Any opinion?
Can they just release it already and then just let it fail?
Let it fail.
Because it's not going to do well. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They did push the live action Mulan back too.
See, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I am too. That one's not, I think, till March now.
March
23rd. I'm excited for Mulan.
Well, when was that supposed to come out?
Earlier in that year, I think.
Yeah, I think it was January.
Yeah.
But they pushed it back to when they did the reshake up with all the trying to implement the Disney and the Fox. They just shuffled everything around.
Yeah.
All right, guys, look at the list. Is there any other movies you know? There's a
Well,
bunch of movies on this list.
Matt-
February, there's the new Kingsman movie,
I
which
know you love those.
if you guys have seen Kingsman 1 and Kingsman 2, those movies are so much fun. They're almost like it's a comedy, but also an action movie. It's kind of a take on James Bond, but it's just hysterical and funny, and I've loved both of those movies. So Kingsman, the third one is going to be great, I think.
Yeah.
Taron Egerton's one of my favorite actors, so yeah, it's an incredible series. I'm excited for it.
Cruella, I think I'm going to look forward to as well.
See, why didn't we get Cruella this year? Because we
know.
didn't really need. I would have taken Cruella over.
And it's not coming out till December 23rd of next year either, so it's ways away.
It's quite a way away. Although the release before it, West Side Story, really, they're remaking that?
Yeah.
Money to be made. Ka-ching, ka-ching. What do you guys think of Jungle Cruise with?
Yeah, I was literally about to bring that up.
Not
Jungle Cruise with Dwayne Johnson in it. It's going to be like Tomorrowland, I feel, because they're trying to like get all these park or the ride themed movies out.
Is it going to be like Tomorrowland, but kind of with Dwayne the Rock Johnson and kind of crossed with Jumanji then?
Hey, I'm just saying, anything with Dwayne Johnson in it, I'm happy. I love Dwayne Johnson.
I don't know. He's got a lot of good movies.
Jungle Cruise, I'll be interested in. West Side Story, I'm disappointed to see that they're even remaking that, because I think certain classic musicals should be left alone.
Well, they remade Les Mis, and that was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was so good.
No, I agree. Les Mis was fantastic. But, yeah.
Anything else in 2020 looks good, guys? Next year? What's the Marvel movies? They're just gonna be a
Marvel movies. It will be
another Disney animated movie. The following. What do you think? What would you guys guess would be that November 25th movie?
November 23rd.
Oh, March 6th, Onward by Disney. That movie looks really cool. It's an animated movie. I don't know much about it.
I haven't really seen any of the trailers or anything.
I don't think there is a trailer, but the announce was on it. Let me see Onward.
The only other real big things that I saw coming out, well, I don't know much about those ones coming out in 2020, but the 3 Avatar and the 3 Star Wars movies are the only other big ones that I know about.
Yeah, Onward is with Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. It's set in suburban fantasy world. Disney Pixar's Onward. It's a Pixar movie. Introduces 2 teenage elf brothers who embark in an extraordinary quest to discover if there's still a little magic left out there. Is
it animated?
It's an animated movie, yeah. It's Pixar. So.
We got in 2021. There's the new Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, that's been pushed back 52 times. Harrison Ford's going to be 89 in that movie by the time they finish it. So I love Indiana Jones. I'd like to do a pub talk on Indiana Jones if you guys.
Yeah.
I know Chris.
Can I rip on Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Of course,
please?
yes, of course. I wouldn't want it any other way. But I know Chris did one, or he's going to do one. He's going to talk about Indiana Jones. But I've been wanting to do that for a while, so I'd like to do a pub talk. But Steve, write that down. Indiana Jones. We got to do.
As long as I can talk about how much I hate Indiana Jones 4, that's all that matters.
But what do you think? Is it going to be any good?
I hope so. They really need a good one, because it's not going to beat the first 3. But I just want it to be good. That's what I'm asking.
Shia in that movie?
Shia LaBeouf was in 4. Yeah.
Is he going to be in the new one? I mean,
no.
Okay.
If he was, you would have seen me protesting on the news.
I think he's going to be retired by the time it comes to the So of course, finally, Avatar 2, end of 2021. Avatar 3, 2023. Avatar 4, which I didn't think I even knew there was a 4 and a 5, but 2025 and 2027, 5 avatars. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it going to be?
Hey guys, before you get going real quick, I have a little emergency I got to go take care of. I got to go pick somebody up.
Right, go ahead, Steve. I know
I hate to do this, but I got to bail real quick. It's kind of an emergency. So.
All right, we're almost wrapping up. And look at this. Brandon took your place. Hey, Brandon, just saying hi.
Guys.
Everyone.
What's going on? What do you think? Avatars? What do you think, Brandon?
Let's give Brandon the floor.
What? The Avatar movie?
The future of Avatar. What do you think? You think they're going to be good, bad? What are you thinking?
I mean, it's James Cameron, and James Cameron always pulls off masterpieces, pretty much. So I think so.
We'll see.
I think they're going to be good. I think there's way too many of them coming though.
Okay.
They-
Yeah,
Like,
I think they're taking a big gamble on the amount of films they're making in such quick succession. I
Mhm.
loved the first Avatar. Obviously, it was the film that brought back 3D as a technology, and it was shot specifically for 3D. And I went to see it in the cinema, watched it in 3D, and it did capsulate you into this amazing world and planet, which I'm glad they kind of redesigned Animal Kingdom as well and did a good job of it, I might add. So I loved Avatar. I actually quite enjoyed the story as well. A lot of people didn't enjoy the story so much. I thought it was actually quite. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And so I've been clamoring for Avatar 2 for so long. The problem is nobody really cares about 3D anymore. It's kind of it's almost run its course again.
right.
And yes, it's good to go and see certain movies when they come out, on an IMAX or whatever, like the Avengers stuff and whatever. But I don't think Avatar 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through to Avatar 923
Right.
are going to have the appeal that the first one did because they've taken far too long. That's my
yeah,
worry.
Exactly.
I think if they'd released them all within 5 to 10 years of the first one coming out, brilliant. But the fact it's been over 10 years since the first one came out scares me.
what I think is I really enjoyed the movie, but I actually haven't seen the movie since I saw it in theaters. Even though I
It's been a
really
couple of
enjoyed
years
the movie.
myself.
But-
Frankie
but
and I
what-
watched it last year before we went to Pandora, and I thought we got so much more out of Pandora watching it. So maybe you should watch it before you go back.
Yes,
to Disney.
I agree.
but-
I showed Ebony I bought the 3D Blu-ray and had her watch it before we went to Pandora 2 years ago, and she fell in love with the film as well. She enjoys it, so you will get more out of Pandora for doing that.
Here's what I think James Cameron should do. He should be like, right, we know that 3D isn't as popular as it was when we released the first Avatar. So he needs to make sure it would be a good idea if he completely used so much marketing and publicizing that you need to see Avatar 2 in 3D. Like, you cannot have an experience. Avatar needs to be that 3D movie that everybody needs to see. That's
Which
what
is
he
how
needs
the
to,
first film was marketed. That's how.
that's what he needs to do. Because
I'll be back in a
otherwise,
couple minutes.
otherwise it's not going to. All right. Otherwise, it's not going to. It's not going to make as look. The first Avatar is one of the most incredibly. It was a fairy story of how much that movie made. It's not going to beat that record, but if they made it as if like, right, Avatar 2, we are really focusing on the look of the movie. You need to see it in 3D. That's what he needs to do.
And that's what, exactly. That's what they need to. They need to as well. They need to. I hope to God they do what they did with the first film, in that the storyline almost took a backseat with the first movie, and it was all about propelling the audience into this world and making you. It removed you from Earth almost, and placed you on Pandora. Because you were so encapsulated in it, with the 3D effect. I hope to God they managed to recreate that, because I know they did talk about the idea of Pandora has 2 or 3 moons, I believe, and they were talking about exploring those as well. So I hope they managed to bring something different that grabs the audience's attention and curiosity again, to want people to kind of revisit this. And yes, I agree. It has to be what it was the first time, but they have to make it relevant. And that's the tricky thing, is 3D isn't so relevant these days.
Right.
And that's, I sadly think, as much as I enjoyed the first film and I'm looking forward to these ones, I sadly think the ship has sailed a little bit for Avatar, and that they took far, far, far too long to get these other movies off the ground. Avatar 2 should have come out 3 years after the first one, not 13 years or whatever.
Yeah, that hurts, I think.
I would almost go for, this might sound a crazy idea, but I would be more invested to having a more David Attenborough kind of go with Avatar, like literally exploring the worlds of Avatar, like Flight of Passage,
Mhm.
but on a movie scale, and literally just following these creatures around, following what the tribes are doing, and not so much focus on a story, but focus on the environments themselves and the creatures, and have so much like a guide in a way, like a Navi guide who's taking
Great
you
idea.
on this journey.
Yeah.
Disney, hire me. Hire me. I've just made you $1 billion.
4 movies worth of that. I don't know if that would sell though. I like the idea, but I don't know if it would sell. Sign me up.
Look, if you market it in the right way, in terms of making it a 3D environment and making it in a way that you are exploring these moons and these creatures and these environments with a Navi guide, and kind of feel, I kind of see it as like a Blair Witch project. Like, you are in the movie, you are first person, you have a guide next to you, and you go traveling around these planets exploring, and you can make it exciting. David Attenborough's shows make it exciting, Planet Earth and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Look, it's not going to make as much money as the first Avatar, but if you want spectacle, if you want amazement, Disney, I've just made you $1 billion.
Speaking of making $1 billion, so it just seems like Star Wars is back to the many years between Star Wars. The next one would be 2024 after this year. Is that I think it's a good move. It doesn't seem like Solo did that great. Doesn't seem like these Star Wars story move, Rogue One. I loved them, to be honest with you, but what do you guys think? Going back to that, there's no Ben Kenobi movie. There's no there's no Boba Fett movie.
We don't know what these movies are. Will they be another trilogy, or will it be a 3 standalones?
I think it's another trilogy.
I thought when obviously, because when Disney acquired them, I remember them saying, we could do whatever we want with the franchise now, and we could release a Star Wars movie every year. And that almost worried me, because I wouldn't want Star Wars to become stale and just what's the Star Wars movie plot going to be this year? I love the gaps because it makes it exciting. And we talked about this on Dan's Disney Fiasco last week when we did the Star Wars
Great plug there.
movie special. Yeah.
You check that out.
If you check it out, guys, go and check it out on Disney Dan's channel. But yeah, so last Saturday we talked about our favorite Star Wars movie moments. And one of mine, as I listed at the time, was just when The Force Awakens was released, because it had been so long since the last Star Wars movies. The buzz and excitement I got, I wasn't around when the original Star Wars trilogy was released. And I wasn't massively into Star Wars when the prequels were released, but by the time Force Awakens was released, I was so pumped and so excited for a movie. And I had the same feeling as well when Last Jedi came out. I'm very much looking forward to The Rise of Skywalker this year. But if they start doing that every year, it would soon lose its appeal. So I think closing this kind of chapter, this Skywalker chapter, at the end of this year, and then leaving it a number of years before they pick the story up or the saga up to continue with however it needs to continue, I think that's what needs to happen.
Well, yeah, because Star Wars is special. There's no other franchise like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I think it does need a break. And if this was wise by Lucasfilm and Disney, they need to focus on a completely new storyline. I would love them to go back, not do a prequel to a prequel, and do the Old Republic, which is ultra geeky. But yeah, I would love to see an Old Republic movie where the Jedi and the Sith were really at war with each other. But I want it to be done right. Great directing. I would have a great director, or not a George Lucas. I would have maybe a JJ or someone similar. But I would love to see something more dark. I would like to see a dark Star Wars trilogy, because the prequels were very light. This trilogy, the sequel trilogy, it's funny, but there's not enough dark moments. The originals are classic. I would like to see a really dark, gritty, Old Republic Star Wars trilogy.
It's funny you say this, Dan, because if you look at Kay's comment there, I think one of the trilogies is supposed to be the Old Republic. So that's what Kay says. So
hopefully we're right.
Yeah.
Brandon,
So
I want to hear the Star Wars expert.
So with the Star Wars movies, that the new trilogy that's coming out, we don't know who's confirmed as the director yet, but we have, because they gave us an idea of who might be directing it, but we don't know. They confirmed 2 directors to direct 2 trilogies. They got Ryan Johnson doing his own trilogy. We don't know when that's going to happen, and we have Benioff and Weiss, the guys who do Game of Thrones. They're directing a Star Wars
Good to
trilogy as
hear
well.
that.
So yeah, so we don't know who's directing this new trilogy that's coming up in 2022 or whatever. But with this break coming up, they're also doing a lot of Star Wars spin-off shows for the Disney Plus series, like
Yeah,
such as the Mandalorian, which I'm super hyped
it
about.
looks so good.
Dude, have you seen the footage yet?
Yeah,
Oh my god, it looks amazing.
The
And then
Mandalorian looks so good.
it really does. And then they have the Cassian Andor series with Alan Tudyk returning as well to be part of that.
Are
Nice.
those released on the day 1 of Disney Plus?
Yeah. Cassian series, no. Mandalorian, yes.
Cool.
I'm excited about the Cassian series. I really enjoyed his character in Rogue One. Actually, he was the only character I really enjoyed in Rogue One.
So, Brandon, what do you think about going back to that 3-year hiatus between Star Wars movies now?
I mean, I'm fine with that because I think they've been milking it a little bit too much, because these past 5 years or so we've been having a Star Wars movie every year. We had Force Awakens, Rogue One,
Yeah.
Last Jedi, Solo, now Rise of Skywalker, and then boom, done for a little bit. I'm fine with that break.
Yeah, I think the break needs to happen. I think the
Me
break
personally,
needs to
I think it gives the box office, like other movies, a chance to have like their chance to shine at the box office. You know, like that's what I thought when before Disney released this whole schedule. I thought Marvel wasn't going to do any Marvel movies next year. They were going to do the Disney Plus series, and then of course I was wrong. But I'm like, this is good. They're giving other movies a chance to do good at the box office, and then they drop the movies. But still, like either way, we're still going to get stuff. But like with Star Wars not having to be at the box office, other movies have a chance.
Yeah. I agree. It's a smart move. It's a smart move, and Star Wars fans have only been used to sort of having, like we say, the original trilogy, and then having to kind of, I'm going to say, having to live with that like it was a bad thing, but having to sort of just enjoy what it was for a number of years, and then obviously we got the prequels, and and then Star Wars fans got to look forward to those. Whatever they think of them now is, by the by. They got the excitement of new movies being released and then done. The chapter was closed again for a long time. Will anything else ever come of this? Boom, 4 or 5 years ago, whatever. And I think it's time to close the book again. Let it sit for a few years, and then they can pick it up again. And I think you're going to keep the fans happy. And I love what they've done with this as well, where they've appeased the original Star Wars fans with your Millennium Falcons, with your Han Solos, your Princess Leias, your Luke Skywalkers and your Chewies, and then but bringing in a whole new generation, as it were, and it'll be great to see whatever happens in Rise of Skywalker, close the book, and then how that kind of moves forward.
And they didn't start anything yet either, right? Brandon, they didn't start anything at that. Yeah, so there's definitely 3 years to be made movies there. So
like
need
what
time.
Kathleen Kennedy said. Kathleen Kennedy, she in an interview with a guy named Steel Wars, she said she would be up for the idea of doing an Old Republic movie, which I'm super excited about. Go back, do a trilogy for the Old Republic, and yeah. Other than that, I'd want a trilogy like pretty much the origin of the Force, like when people are first learning how to use the Force.
Yeah.
We could talk about this for 5 hours, guys. We went 24 minutes over already, so it's time to wrap it up, unfortunately. So, but thank you so much, Brandon, for checking in with us. That was awesome.
Yeah,
thanks for having me
of
on.
course. Hang in there a sec. Adam, thank you so much. You got 30 seconds to promote Adam's Land at Ebony's little channel. I saw you promoted something by Ebony in the chat there.
Well, like I said at the start of the, when you were talking about partner channels and Ebony's little channel, we've got it to 180. So I want to try and push it to 200. So guys, if you've not checked out my daughter, she's the reason I'm on YouTube. So check out Ebony's little channel.
She's awesome.
We posted the link. I'll post it again now. So yeah, please go check her out. Help her get to 200 subs. And stay tuned, because she's got a couple of new vlogs that I'm currently editing at the moment, ready to come out, and we're we've got a few things lined up for summer, so check out Adam's
Awesome.
and check out Ebony's little channel.
Can't wait. And of course, Disney Dan, my man, my newest partner channel. Thank you so much for making me a partner channel.
No,
30
thank you.
seconds to promote Disney Dan.
Okay.
Go.
Disney
Just kidding.
Fiasco tomorrow,
do
7
what
p.m.
you want.
Eastern Standard Time with Disney Nerd Headers and oh gosh, who was the other person? Patrick from Zippity Doodad.
PJ, get me a beer.
PJ is gonna be on Fiasco, which is super exciting. So that's tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I talked about water today on Disney Food Friday, so you can go check out my video on
That's awesome.
water, which was
Water.
we
You
just
saying
told me
water is funny.
Can I just
you
say
just
said
you
that
just
in
saw
an
me
American accent?
ranting.
You did. Isn't it funny, Brandon? It's awesome.
Water.
Water.
So
Water.
There's a T in water.
With a T.
Okay.
Drink water.
That was a lot of fun. So I did Disney Food Friday. What else? I have a video that I've been started to upload more on Sundays and Mondays. So I've got a video coming out on Sunday, which is gonna be interesting. And I'm just trying to get more live streams done so I can get my watch hours up.
Do me a favor, yeah, watch Dan's channel. I got it running here a lot, round the clock, overnight, and everything. Just put on a couple streams. Let him. He's trying to get his watch hours. Hopefully, it's getting there, Dan. I know it was frustrating with me, and we got to get this guy monetized.
We are currently. I'll give you all an update right now. We are currently on 2,738. So we are making some progress. We are nearly at 3,000 hours. So let's get there. Let's do it. Come on. We're gonna. I'll buy everybody a Dole Whip.
Power, nice. I heard that. I'm gonna take you up on that. And Brandon, of course, thank you so much for. We got a little bit of your Star Wars trip in there, so on one of these days we'll discuss a little bit more, Brandon. I know it's getting farther and farther. We were supposed to do it last week. I apologize. These guys will.
We do need to cover Brandon.
Time.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. You want to plug anything, Brandon, before we get out of here? Your Twitter account?
Yeah, I got to plug something. All right, check out RobFuz, subscribe to RobFuz, subscribe to Disney Dan, subscribe to Adam and Ebony.
Thanks, Bill.
That's it.
Thank you,
Hey,
Brandon.
Thank you, dude.
Subscribe to all the power channels. I was just also looking at my subscription count. For some reason, I'm about to hit 300. I never uploaded them.
Nice. Nice. Very
Check out
nice.
Mike and Jen from Our Theme Life. Definitely check out them.
Yes.
And
Awesome,
Steve.
guys.
And Steve.
Steve, yeah.
And Steve from Steve's World.
Steve had to bail. I posted a link. Steve's World. Definitely check out. He's 840 subscribers. It's awesome. He's on his road to 1,000. And don't forget, Resort TV 1 in a half hour. They're going live from Animal Kingdom, my favorite theme park. And I just wanted to give a shout out to my sponsors, DG Explorers. Thank you guys so much. The burp count, I think, was up to 8. I didn't officially announce it. And definitely, I just wanted to thank Dean over at the Live Place. Thank you for promoting this channel and promoting Dan. And hopefully Adam, too. Adam will get in there one of these days and get on the Live Place. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, May 20th is going to be the mega open bar. If you guys want to be in on it, just hit me up on Twitter. Definitely check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit subscribe button and the bell. Hit the like button and share out my videos. What'd you say, Adam? Sorry.
I was just gonna say I'll get some more beers in, or
Sure,
maybe
you got to get the keg. Yes, the keg was awesome.
The keg.
You know, keg as Hulk Hogan would be awesome. So if you could pull that off, or maybe another surprise or something. You're awesome.
Be American.
We'll see.
Right
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. We went a little
Cheers.
over today. We could have went
close.
another 3 hours. There's a lot of stuff. I underestimated a little bit about all those movies. There's a lot of good movies in there. I tweeted the list from D23 if you guys want to look at the complete list. Thank you again. We will be back in 2 weeks for PubTalk, our usual Friday nights. And then here we go. Cheers, Adam. Thank you so much. Cheers, Brandon. Cheers,
I
Dan.
got my invisible drink.
Nice. Cheers,
doing it
Dan.
now.
Cheers to Steve. Thank you so much for joining us. Steve's World. And don't forget,
Let's go find some props.
yeah, we're gonna go play some Xbox. And May 20th is the mega open. We had 18 YouTubers. We're gonna get more. So I gotta go to the bathroom too. Have a great
ready,
day,
Rob?
guys.
You ready, Rob?
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Go.
Cheers.
Woohoo. On that note, we're out
Thank
here.
you.
Thanks, guys. Pub Talk 18, 19,
20.
20. We've been having a great run. No, I know. I'm just saying 19 was amazing. This one was great too. Thank you guys so much. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there too. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Take care, everyone.